Sales è una di quelle skills dove veramente non smetti mai di imparare. E uso sempre l'analogia della palestra, no? Il fatto che tu ti sia allenato per 2 mesi non vuol dire che avrai un fisico bello per tutta la tua vita, anzi, le persone vanno in palestra costantemente perché appunto devi mantenerlo quel fisico e continuare a migliorarlo. Stessa roba con la vendita, stessa roba con qualsiasi altra cosa nella nostra vita, ma soprattutto con le competenze come quella della vendita. Ed è per questo che sì, sono in sales da ormai 2 anni, ho investito in tante mentorship, ho incontrato tanti mentor, ho imparato molto, ma nonostante tutto continuo a imparare, continuo a essere un student of the game ed è per questo che tuttora lavoro con un mentor che si chiama Tristan Steckler e oggi voglio proprio mostrarti una core review che mi ha fatto lui di una mia chiamata di vendita. Per chi non lo conoscesse, Tristan Steckler è molto conosciuto nello space, soprattutto nel mercato americano per l'appunto, ed è veramente molto molto forte. Io ho lavorato con tanti coach, lui è uno di quelli che mi piace di più perché ha una buona etica e soprattutto è molto molto competente. Ormai è nell'info space e fa il closer da più di 7 anni e la sua mentorship costa quasi 10.000 euro. Quindi guarda questo video, prendi appunti come se tu avessi appena speso 10.000 euro per queste informazioni, perché solo così riuscirai a prendere dei buoni takeaway, implementare tutto nelle tue chiamate e soprattutto migliorare. Ora, prima che iniziamo, perché faccio questo? Perché faccio questo video? Perché ti mostro tutta questa roba? È perché per l'appunto io ho questa missione di portare quello che sto imparando e quello che ho imparato nel mercato americano, portarlo in Italia, perché secondo me manca un po' quella cultura e voglio riuscire ad aiutare quanti più ragazzi possibili, soprattutto in Italia, che vogliono migliorare le loro skills di vendita o che magari vogliono solo entrare in vendita. Quindi, siccome ho questo grande obiettivo, so che la mia responsabilità è quella di andare, cercare mentorship, continuare a formarmi per far sì che io migliori, ma soprattutto riesca ad aiutare sempre più persone. Quindi, ora, basta chiacchiere, iniziamo.
Fire.
Correct. No.
Nice. There we go, son.
Cool. I mean, tell me a bit yourself. I mean, what is the biggest reason why you're even looking to double down with training?
Right now, well, my biggest reason is I'm just looking for some sort of supplemental income. Also, I'm 42, so I got a little late to the retirement game, so I'm looking to try to start building that up. Yeah, just things like that. You know, I'm a father, so I'm trying to just make a better life for my kids. I'm very successful, but I just I don't know, I want a little more. You know what I mean?
What is that you are doing currently?
I work in film, so I work in movies. I do lighting in movies,
Okay.
and I'm doing well. It's just a very big time constraint, and my kids right now are pretty young, so I want to try to. I don't know, man. I don't want to miss their childhood. You know,
How old are your kids?
I was 10 and 8.
Working out. Okay. And you're saying
Yeah.
time constraints, so how many hours would you say they were working? Just to
Right,
manage it.
I'm currently working between 10 and 12 hours a day. Yeah, I know. Film's pretty brutal with hours.
Okay. And is that like 5 days a week or is it even more?
It's usually 5 days a week. Yeah,
Okay. So you're around like,
but I'm pretty flexible with getting. Yeah, I'm pretty flexible with getting able to get away and trade during the day throughout. You know, here and there for a few hours because it's kind of a. I don't know how would you say. Hurry up and wait. You know what I mean? We hurry. We get our shot ready and we wait for a while. While we do the scene, we shoot the movie and then we hurry and then wait again. Yeah.
okay. And how long like you've been working like 10, 12 hours a day?
You mean how long as far as my career?
Yeah. Like
Oh.
how long has it been this?
Oh, I've been working 22 years.
Go.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. So that's basically why like I don't know like in the 2000s I got into stock trading, and I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed doing like small cap, mid cap stocks. Later, a few years ago, I got into the options game, and then I started learning about prop firms, and I wanted to. I love the idea with scaling up and utilizing their capital, especially not risking my money and blah blah blah. And that's sort of where I went down this path. I got into like I said, I'm just trying to figure out a way to help my retirement and also just spend more time with my family. So if I could take less movies, I don't want to completely walk away from filmmaking. But that being said, I do want to spend more time with my family. So if I can do anything to sort of start supplementing my income, that's my goal.
And talking about like your income, how much have you been getting like roughly month to month?
Oh,
Like,
my income month to month, I would prefer anywhere from 15 to 20,000.
Okay. Is that like after taxes?
No, that's pre-tax.
Okay. So after taxes, do you know how much you're left with roughly?
Probably between 8 and 12.
Okay. So in order for you, like just to be in a position where you want to reduce your hours,
Does your wife work? Yes, no. If she doesn't work, what are the monthly expenses? Because I want to try and get my foot in the door to that whole like successful brain that he took early on. And that's the way that you because I got to figure out what's not working. It sounds like hours at the job is not working for his family and he's missing out on time with his kids. But that would give me more leverage if he's putting in all this time into it and it's not even creating the freedom that he wants financially.
yeah. And even looking at him, like I know he didn't have like glasses, but I could tell he was really analytical guy.
When they say like it's good, I'm like, do you know what they say about good? It's the enemy of great. So are you on this call to stay good or are you looking to go from good to great? What is great in your own words, your own thoughts, your own opinion?
Yeah.
As you said, you just don't want to quit completely. When you said about like supplementing your income, how much that would be?
Well, right now, like I'm doing baby steps as far as my ambitions and goals for this. So my goal right now is to generate enough money to fully fund my IRA for the year, just right off the bat, get that done. And if I can start doing that, then I want to start, which is only $7,000 a year. You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. So it's not,
Why so little? Why so little?
That's well, like I said, I feel like that's a good starting point. I don't want to be. I feel like it's an achievable goal, and I don't want to set a goal too high and get discouraged along the way.
Where does that come from? Would you say? Like not really setting a goal, just
as far as I don't know. I guess I mean, yeah, I guess that's my psychology. I don't know exactly where it comes from, though, so to speak. But I've been maybe because I've been very good at my job. I don't want to be, and I'm finding this to be very difficult so far. I haven't been very successful with the futures game and the prop firm trading yet. So I felt like I felt like it's been difficult so far. So maybe I was like, you know what? Maybe instead of trying to aim for the 10K a month, why don't I just try to fund my IRA at 7,000 a year? And just if I reach that, and then.
So, is he being honest with you or dishonest up until now? Very honest. When they're honest with us, what do?
We reward that.
Reward, yeah. Because you can see he's smiling a little bit. And when you notice that they're smiling a little bit, that should signal to you that they know that you're calling them out, and you have tunnel vision on whatever the excuse is that they're used to giving themselves or other people, and they know that they can't escape it. So for him to be humble enough to admit, I don't believe that it's possible, or I haven't been successful with this, and I'm trying to keep my family safe, is what it sounds like, then we want to acknowledge that and affirm him and help him feel like he's in the right place. So how would you go about doing that right now?
I really appreciate even taking a time out and be like, Adam, and by the way, I really appreciate you being honest with me, because that helps me helping you a lot. And some people, sometimes jump on these calls pretending everything is good, everything is okay. Those are people that we cannot help. So I just appreciate you being honest.
Yeah, this is where I would go. I'm like, dude, thank you for being honest. Seriously, like most of the time people come on these calls, they keep their cards close to their chest. They're not honest about what's holding them back, or what they want, or the fact that they don't know how to get the outcome they're after. And it makes sense, right? Like, you've been in this industry for 22 years, you have 2 young kids, you have a family to support. I'd like to have the leverage that his wife doesn't work, because if that is the case, then it makes sense why he's working so many hours, right? Because he has to, because he is the man, he wants to provide. So I'm not going to hit him on the head with the mindset stick in regards to that, because he is a hardworking man. But what I want to get into is, with trading, he mentioned he hasn't seen much success. How's he been going about that up until now? How's he managing working 12 hours a day in trading? What has he looked into in terms of building a better strategy so that he can see better results, where he can actually believe in himself rather than just setting this $7,000 annual goal? That's where my brain goes. But all the way throughout that process, it's not coming from a place of, how dare you, you're not doing enough. It's coming from a place of, well, let me just see what you have in place. In worst case scenario, I just point you in a better direction with what you already have in place. Best case scenario, I'm able to identify what's in the way, and I can help build a bridge to what you want, which is getting away from the job and being able to be with your children.
I'll start, making bigger and bigger goals.
Yeah, the reason why I'm cutting you off on that is because I can tell that the type of language that we use is a reflection of our confidence. And in you, I see that you use the if and you say you master smaller. So most of the time I do a lot of this also.
Because this is where these conversations go down the wrong path. Because he's just been honest with you, and he's kind of like, here are my cards. Take it as it is. And when we're like, oh yeah, dude, you're using this uncertain language, you're the problem, they feel exposed, they feel insecure, and then their pride will come in and they'll start pushing back. Who are you? You're a little kid. Do you even have a family? That's where that.
So this is why you want to reward before.
Yes. Because when he's honest, and then immediately after being honest, he feels rewarded, seen, understood, that he's in the right place. Is he not going to continue to be honest?
No, he's going to hold that identity.
Yeah, and if he's honest with us, and then we're like, this is wrong, you shouldn't be talking this way, this is bad, this is why you're stuck. Framing you can use is hey, Eric, can we just do timeout for a second? Would it be helpful in any way if I shared, just from my experience being in this industry for time frame and helping hundreds, if not thousands of people break into trading and XYZ outcome? Just in conversations that I've had with people who have found the success that you're after yourself. I notice when you're talking about trading, you use the word if. If I could be successful, if this would work, if I could replace my income, etc. And when I hear that, it tells me that there's a level of lack of belief or skepticism that it's even possible. Can you help me understand where that comes from? There's a way you can do that.
Okay.
Same thing with the scams. Same, you can bridge that into any conversation that you want to have with them, but you want to pad it with, would it be helpful in any way if I shared, just from my experience working with hundreds, if not thousands of people that have gotten to the position that you're trying to get into yourself? Because I'm noticing some things that you're mentioning in this conversation that lead me to believe that this is in your mind or this is how you think. And my goal here is to just help you win. Ultimately, my main intention is to give you confidence so that you can win and you can get what you want and you can build that life for your family. That's my intention.
It just comes down to like our beliefs. Our beliefs, dictates everything about our actions, our thoughts. So that's really important that we spend some time on that. But
Yeah.
for you specifically, how long have you had this goal for? Of like wanting to pretty much make more money on the side so that you can actually have more freedom to even spend time with your kids.
I would say
That's the biggest motivation.
I've been obsessive about it for the last 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Right.
And what have you tried in the past 2 years to put yourself in that position?
The first year I tried doing options, trading options, and then within this past year I've tried with the futures, the prop firm game.
Okay. But when you say you try, I really want to understand like the process of trying, right? Because the last thing that we want to do is to try now.
I'm trying to pass evaluations and things like that.
Okay, but like, did you follow a course? Did you watch videos? Did you have a mentor?
Oh,
Like, what was the process?
No mentors, 100% YouTube, books, things of that nature.
Okay.
It makes sense though, right? Because he's working 12 hours a day with a family for 22 years. Okay. So like, this is the tough thing about the high ticket sales stuff. Is like, if you haven't lived that life, like Eric, then you start pointing the finger like, you idiot, look what you're doing. You're stupid. It's like, dude, he's got kids, you know? And if he's a good man, he's going to spend time with his kids. He's going to work hard and he's going to spend time with his kids. So you don't get any leverage with him by calling out, oh, dude, you don't have the time. Well, starting the trading is going to give you the time. So how can you use time? It just doesn't work with certain people. So just be aware of that. I'm trying to collaborate with you. I'm trying to help you win. If I need to challenge the beliefs, I will, but I'm not going to challenge you as a man. So let's see where this goes.
Because that's the thing, Adam. Especially when it comes to trying something new, like it's proven that having a mentor is the one thing that's going to accelerate the process. Like it's the same thing.
Because you want to affirm him. It's like, it makes sense. You're working 12 hours a day. You've been in this industry for 22 years. You have a family. You have children. It's understandable that the path that you've taken so far is looking into things on the internet, watching YouTube videos. Just so I understand, how much money have you made doing it that way? How much money have you made doing it that way? Oh, barely any. Okay. And you've been doing it that way for 22 years? Is that correct? Okay. I mean, have you seen companies similar to ours online that advertise, help, support, training, one-on-one coaching? What does that look like for you? Okay. Have you looked into any of those? Like, have you looked at their content? Have you downloaded their freebies, joined their groups? Like, what does that look like? It's very like reassuring, understanding, collaborative, just trying to understand.
Because that's what I'm trying to balance right now is more like when I should be more like soft and as you said, like more like really be on their side compared to be more like a sort of like a dick because some people, they really need that push.
When they
so
are honest, when they're honest, this is the approach. When they're dishonest, you take the other approach. Where it's like, dude, you're saying this one thing and now you're saying something completely opposite. I'm confused. Is it this or is it that? More firm, more direct, more like granular, hands-on, because it's inconsistent and you can't help them if they remain inconsistent.
Yeah. Anything else?
I agree. That's why I'm reaching out.
There you go. Okay. So how do we handle this guy when they say, well, that's why I'm on the call? How do you handle that? I posted a piece of content about this yesterday. This is a good one. It's a really good analogy that you can use going forward.
So what are we so scared of, man? If we're ultimately heading towards where we don't want to be?
I don't know. I think that's the reason for this kind of step to try and do something about it.
That's the reason I'm on the call, is what the prospect just said. With the whole that's why I'm on the call thing, a good way of handling that is like, what's your favorite sport? Football? Like soccer?
Yeah, soccer, sorry.
Okay. So let's say you're playing soccer one day with Sam. You guys are on the top floor of this penthouse thing he's in, and you trip and you break your own ankle. And instead of going straight to the doctor because you have a problem that needs fixing, you don't do anything. How long had this guy been doing research? Let's say it's 2 years. Let's say you willingly chose. So same thing. This guy's been doing the research in the YouTube videos for 2 years. Not to go to the doctor, but to do research for 2 years. Your ankle's still broken. You're trying to like find ways to like mend it and like put it back into place yourself. Maybe like pour out some kind of like makeshift cast on your own. And you show up to the doctor's office and you say, well, dude, I'm here. Fix me. How are you going to fix me? Would it not be within reason for the doctor to be shocked, concerned, confused as to why you took so long to show up?
So what we say?
Helpful?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what took you so long? Why hasn't this happened yet? Why haven't we started making income from trading yet? Up until now.
I 100% agree.
Sure, but like you're reaching out now, right? And I don't want to put you on the spot on that, but it's like, what held you back from reaching out to a mentor in the past 2 years? You had this goal and you were obsessed about it.
Well, recently, as far as just doing mentorships in general, in research, because I like to do things on my own, and also too financially, I don't like.
You see how you're starting to get some leverage here? I like to do things on my own. Is that true, or is that where he feels the most safe? It's when he's doing it on his own.
Less
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah, less risk, more control. People who are successful, they like to be in control. They don't like to put the control in someone else's hands.
Financially too, I felt like I would be able to do things on my own, and I didn't know the amount of money I'd be willing to commit to a mentor and whether or not it would work. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, trying to figure out what strategy and what things would resonate with me. Because as you know, there's a ton of them out there. There's a ton of strategies. So as far as my psychology goes,
You see the body language? So when we see this kind of body language, what should that signal to us?
There is, I don't know, it's, to me, it seems that when they're touching their head and stuff like that, they're kind of try to make up some excuses.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, comfortable or uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
And when they're uncomfortable, what are they feeling inside?
That they're being judged.
Yeah, they got to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In themselves, they feel pressure. Maybe they'll get a ball in their throat, or they'll feel that heat in their chest. So just be aware of that. What that should signal to you, though, is that you're having the right conversation, but you have to pull back a little bit. Like you can't full steam ahead press them, or the bubble's going to burst.
as far as the strategy that I personally at the moment think resonates with me is order flow. So that, in all honesty, I don't think it's a bad thing. I haven't looked for a mentor until now because I don't know. I'm a very analytical thinker, so I like to take my time. So I don't feel like, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you as far as getting a
But
mentor will accelerate the process. But I also
I mean,
wanna
whether-
it's always going to be but.
I want to make sure I choose the right mentor. You know what I mean?
Sure. And can I challenge you on that, Adam?
It makes sense, right? Because of what, Francesco? Why does it make sense for him to make decisions this way?
Because this is how he's always been making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
That's his
And
way of
what's-
thinking.
What's at stake if he makes decisions differently, irresponsibly? Family.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Because you think about it yourself. If you're a grown man, I don't know how old this dude is, what, 40 something?
Mhm.
And you had 2 young children under the age of 15, and you had a wife who was stay at home, and you were working in the same industry for 20 years, and you were making $20,000 a month. How would you want a 20-year-old to talk to you? Keep that in mind. It's
Mhm.
very important.
I see that.
Absolutely.
And as I said, everything that I'm not challenging you directly, Adam, I'm challenging the limiting belief that I see right now. That's what we got.
And my main intention, use this. I'm going to put it in the chat. My main intention here is to give you confidence so that you can win. Use that.
It's like you want to take the time. You're very analytical, right?
Mhm.
So you never. But the thing is, how have you ever gonna know if you don't give it a try? How have you ever gonna know the mentor is the right one if you never really pull the trigger?
What is going to help this land better?
An analogy, I would say.
Yes. What analogy would you give? He's married. He's got kids.
Yeah, even marriage. Yeah, even marriage.
Dude, this, okay, so fundamentally, when you see someone like this, there's pressure. There's pressure, there's discomfort. Imagine in your brain, you have to think of like going into a room and turning the thermostat up. It's starting to get hot. He's feeling the pressure, okay? One wrong move, it'll blow up, especially with this type of personality. So the second you notice this, we have to get on the same side of the table. In order to do that fast, you have to use an analogy. Because what does an analogy do? It diffuses the blow that you're trying to make. Because when we're talking about someone else or something else, the point you're trying to make can land. If you're talking about him, all of those insecurities are going to come out. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I've got kids. My wife doesn't work. And he's valid to want to defend himself. But the reason he works so hard is because of the insecurities that we all have that say, you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. You're not going to be a good father. You're behind. There's someone making more money than you. You're going to blow it all. Like he has those same insecurities that you have. So you have to be aware of that. If you've ever gotten direct feedback and you feel attacked, that's how most of these people feel. How could you say that? I work so hard, all these things. I do that with my wife. I do that with older men that will say things to me directly. Because if you're anything like me, you're not used to hearing direct, constructive criticism on a consistent basis. It's not something that happens every single day because people respect you. You're the person that most people will go to for feedback, guidance, direction, support, etc. Okay. Same thing for him. So you're like, hey, dude, this is a limiting belief, blah, blah, blah. He's going to take that as an attack on him as a person. So you have to diffuse the blow. You have to get on the side of the table every single time.
Right? Because they're always like, I've been doing this for such a long time. And there are always two types of people. People who say, I'm very analytical. I don't know which one is the best. So I'm going to spend a lot of time doing research. And at some point, I'm going to find someone and I'm going to go for it. On the other end, there's someone who's just say, you know what? I know that I have a goal. I'm just going to look for someone who already actually the goal that I'm looking to achieve. And I'm just going to trust the process and commit to that. Which one do you think is going to get results faster?
Well, dude, I've got a family. Do you have kids? You don't even have facial hair. Right?
This is what you could have turned into.
Easily. Yeah. How old are you? 21? Frame taken.
Yeah.
Okay, so just be aware of that. Don't give them that opportunity.
Well, obviously, choosing a mentor and probably figuring out what works for you right then and there, you know?
Because if we keep allowing this way of thinking to hold you back from even reaching out, get the support that you know that you need, do you think that you ever going to get to your goals of actually making good money, being profitable, actually having the freedom, or you're just going to go down the same path?
I'm going to meet my goals.
If you keep allowing this way of thinking to hold you back from investing in
But I'm
yourself.
not allowing the way to hold me back. I'm taking
You see it? He's doing it right now.
Yep.
Defending himself. That's why.
the steps now, though, you know? Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about me in the future, making, I get where you're going. I understand where you're trying to go. But
The successful A-type is always going to respond this way. He's humble. Most of them are not. Most of them are very arrogant. Most of them like to fight and jaw and combat you. So when it goes off the rails, it just means that the person you're talking to is operating in a lot of pride and ego. And similar to what I was telling you, is not used to being called out. They surround themselves with yes men that just obey and do as they're told. They don't combat their opinions. That's why most CEOs can be very difficult to work with.
Let's sit on that for a second, because that's really important. The reason why I challenge you on that is because right now you're here, you're also here, but can you see the only limitation? It's just what you're
I agree. Yeah, 100% agree. I 100% agree with you.
Look at this from a different perspective, Adam. It's like you already know to that way of thinking that you have to take time, you don't want to invest in Corso for countless reasons. How much has that cost you in the past 2 years?
I agree. Yeah, no, and I'm starting to see that.
Where are you starting to see that?
And when you see that, like, what goes through your mind?
When you see that, what goes through your mind as a transition, I would be like, where are you seeing that right now?
Frustration and honestly embarrassment.
Ooh, you see how humble he is? Frustration and embarrassment. If he's not humble, he's not going to say that. If they're prideful, what gets them to go from prideful to humble?
Confronting the truth.
Chunking down and getting granular on what they tell you. Super important. I've said this before. Ego can only persist because of what? Lack of clarity. Even for him, he said 15 to 20,000 per month, wide range. So is it 20 or is it 15? What does that look like after expenses? What does that look like after taxes? Does your partner also work? No. Okay. So for you, working 12 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week, and only being able to take home and save $3,000 a month, like how does that sit with you in your mind? Right? Chunking down, getting granular. It's very, very important.
Because like you said, it's something that I probably, if I would have invested some money, I would have figured out a lot of things sooner and not wasted so much time.
And that's the thing. The last thing that I want to do for you, Adam, is that you keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's the thing too. It's like my time is valuable, and I don't have, I obviously don't have much of it left because I'm getting, started a little bit later. So yeah, I'm trying to get. I have reached that point now where I'm willing to commit capital in order to.
This is where I would transition. I would say, and I'm not here to rub salt in the wound, Adam. I'm saying this out of love and respect for you as a husband, as a father. Now, you mentioned earlier that working all these hours is preventing you from spending time with your children. Like, can you give me an example of that? Like, what does that look like up until now? Because then you can go into, in those moments, what do you tell yourself? Like when you have to look at your kids and say, daddy has to go, or your kids are asking your wife, where is dad? And you have to tell them that dad can't be home. He can't be at the event. He can't be at XYZ. Like, what do you tell yourself? What do those conversations look like? What do those conversations look like between you and your wife? What does she tell you? How many times has that happened? If it's happened 30 times plus, I'm like, why haven't we picked a different direction yet? What's gotten in the way of us picking a mentor, going all in, taking the step, and trusting ourselves up until now?
But for you specifically, what are you most afraid of? Because that's the conversation that we need to have, because that's usually what really held people back. As I said, do a lot of this conversation. Most of the time, the reason why we don't invest into something is because deep down, there's sort of like lack of belief. We don't truly believe that we can do it, or any other fear. So for you, what are you most afraid of if you were to invest into yourself and really, give it another try, which this time around is not just going to be on your own watching video?
Because another example is like, he's been in this industry in movie production for 22 years. Right? If I compare his skill level and his confidence now, 22 years later, compared to when he first stepped foot on in the game, how did he feel back then? How did he build that confidence? Did he know that he was going to create this successful career from day one, or did it take time? Right? Like, you can use his career as an example. He's been doing it for a long time. Like, would you say you're skilled and proficient in your industry? Yes. How did that come about? I mean, how did you feel when you first got into it? Were you 100% confident in yourself, or did that take time? Was it worth it? Right? Like, you can do that whole driver's license analogy in this scenario, because nothing in life is guaranteed at the end of the day. Another great one is the marriage thing. But he'd probably tell you that he's not satisfied with how he's showing up as a husband and as a father right now, which gives you leverage.
You also reading books.
The one thing I'm most afraid of right now is being a 65-year-old guy sitting on a film set. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I've got the drive right now.
That's what I'm saying in your situation. I mean, you had this goal for quite some time. I'm sure, as you said 2 years, but I'm sure it's been in your mind for even more.
I'm sure it has.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. What is more scary for you? Is it to take a leap on yourself and really invest into the trade that you know that you need, or is it to just stay on the sidelines and at some point, look back to the situation and figure out that you just have a bunch of regret?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You're 100% right. And this is the thing. Like, I mean, I'm glad you're saying this too, because it's a very you're right. Yeah, you're bringing out some deep things right now that I've needed to address, and I'm glad you have. And I didn't expect it to go this way. So I'm really glad you're bringing this all up.
listen, at the end of the day,
Oh,
I'm here as a coach to keep
good job.
accountable to your goals, right? And most of the time, that's the thing. We surround ourselves with people who just pat us on the back and they just say, it's fine, you're good, you know. But at the end of the day, it's when you really have conversation and you're really like honest with yourself that you can really make change. Because like we mentioned before, you know, you said you're really successful in your career. But for you, if you look at your situation from a bird's eye view, working 12 hours a day, missing out on the time with your kids, right? And only make 8 to 10K, 12K a month, is that really the definition of success for you?
Fire.
Correct. No.
Nice. There we go, son.
Right? So how much longer do we want to tell ourselves that we're good, that we're successful, just to sort of like externalize and don't do something
Yeah.
about
Stay in that comfort zone. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah.
Because like, what happens if you do? That's the question. If you keep on doing like that.
Yeah. Nothing's going to change.
Right. And I know that you're coming to this with a big motivation. The reason why I'm being so hard with you, man, is because I know deep down that maybe you never had a conversation with this. And I can tell you right now, it's not about trading this. It's more about like believing yourself enough that you can be successful and actually do everything in your power to do so. Right? Because trading is just a vehicle. We both know there's been people who have been successful with order flow. I'm sure you've seen people who are successful with an option, right?
Yes.
Maybe trying the pasta. So that's what I'm saying. Adam, is it really about the person? Sorry, is it really about the business model, the program, the mentor, or is it way more about like what we do with what we have? More on the individual and their mindset, how they show up. Like, what is the most important thing for you?
You're exactly right. Having the mindset to do it.
Because it's the same thing as the gym, right? When you go to the gym, you can see a bunch of people who are in a great shape, but I would argue that you also see a lot of people who are overweight, right? So then,
Correct.
Is it really like a matter of the gym, or is it a matter of like the people who go there and their commitment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Right.
the commitment. Exactly.
Because especially you having a kid, I know that's a big motivation, right? But can I ask you more like a tough question, Adam?
Yeah, go for it.
It's like, what type of example are you setting for your kids by knowing that you have a goal, but also knowing that you're not fully committing to the goal?
Well, that's exactly right. Like I agree with you. I agree with you because that's one of the things too with failing these challenges is because I am I'm working hard at all this. I'm obsessed about this to the point where I have nothing to show for it to my children. You know what I mean? So I'm spending so much time trying to instill in them that it takes a lot of hard work to get where you want to go in life. But I'm not there yet.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's exactly what we mentioned before, right? If what we've done up to this point hasn't got us the results that we're looking for, why are we continuing holding on to the same belief, the same way of thinking, and the same way of doing things, right? Like, think about it for a second. The 2.0 version of you, the one who's already making money online, the one who can really be that provider that you mentioned before about having more time for your kids. Like, what type of belief, how does he think differently compared to what you're doing right now and how you think right now? Like, what really needs to change?
It's a great question. I guess you pointed out, like you said, the confidence.
Wait on that for a second. Like, how do we build?
Dude, this is such a fire question. If you truly want to become that type of provider for your family, what does that require of you? Because in my opinion, it's being able to look in the mirror and have difficult conversations with yourself. Because you haven't really got the limitation totally out, I would say. Like you said, a little bit of fear, right? But what is the fear centered around? This is another good one. If we look at you holding on to whatever the limitation is, and you compare that to your wife, your children, like in what way is this behavior supporting the life that you want to give them?
Be accomplished. Yeah, Adam. Is it really by doing a lot of research? Is by actually doing things?
By doing things.
Right. What else do you think that needs to change?
I guess the confidence need to change and the willingness to, I guess for lack of a better word, fail. We need to change it.
Okay, so he just gave it to you, brother, on a silver platter. Some like define failure. Because if you can reframe that, where in his mind he realizes that he can't fail, because even if he gets obstacles in the way, even if things break months into it, he's going to keep pushing through it and not throw the towel in. There's no fear anymore.
Would you say fear?
Yeah, I was on that. Like I want to, I guess the market's. I've started to believe the market's always right, so I need to realize that when I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and not get that. That's outside the market. That's stuff, or the future market. That's just like in general, like as far as confidence and then my willingness to, to not be right all the time.
And that's the thing. Also, do you think that the version of you who's already there is willing? Yeah, but like even before that, because that's the output, right? First, we need to think about like the inputs, because the output is like what you get. In order to see what you get, we need to become another identity. That's why I'm really sitting down on this. And what I want to ask you is like, do you think that the version of yourself, the 2.0 version of yourself, does he take risks on himself, or does he keep on saying, I'm analytical, so anytime I need to?
No, he's going to take risks. No, he's going to take risks on himself. He's going to take risks on himself, and he's going to be willing to fail in order to succeed, for lack of expression.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, everything starts from that, right? The current version of yourself is nothing about you to go. Anytime, because you have to change that, right? But what I want you want to keep accountable. It's like, how much longer are you going to tell yourself that you're analytical, so you need to do research and you have to wait on things before you really fully commit?
I'm fully committed.
Come on, son. Look at that intent.
I'm done. Yeah.
Because
how could he not close?
impossible. Like if you skip to
Impossible.
if you skip to minute 26, I think if you go to minute 26, 38, I think.
I'll go right here. Look at his face.
Yeah.
Strong-minded, confident, but also I can't think of the word, but not not rigid. Just willing to I don't know, roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Fun.
And that's the thing, Adam. That version of yourself exists.
I know it does.
Like
Yeah.
you're here, your goals are here. The only thing that's holding you back is all the limitation, the bullshit that you've been telling you and you've been telling me at the beginning of this call. Like, can you see how right now it's not really a matter of like, what is the knowledge, what are the taxes, who is the mentor? Like at the end of the day, is it really about that or like what is really about here? Like what's the most important thing that we need to do?
Yeah, shit, man. You got a psychology degree or something?
This is the most important thing, man. It's
I know. I agree. I
it's-
agree with you. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. But sorry, what was your question? Sorry.
Like whose responsibility is it to make that change?
Of course, it's me.
And as I said, I'm gonna keep you accountable to your goals, man, because everything that we do, that's easy, man. Like I do thousands of these calls.
I'll be like, hell yeah, dude. From this point forward, you're gonna call me Dr. Marana.
We got that locked in, so that was good.
Got takeaways.
You
Oh,
could have
really?
easily pitched this guy 10 grand. He would have figured out a way to do it. He was so damn bought in. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah. No, I would say what you mentioned right there, like really also what David mentioned, to think about their situation and really immerse yourself in that to really figure out a way to not just be combative and really calling them out on everything, especially if they're being honest with you. That's the biggest takeaway, because sometimes I treat the people who are honest and the people who are just giving me bullshit the same way, and now I see what I was doing wrong. So that's the biggest takeaway.